welcome to Skomer. We're on a tiny little island just off the coast of Pembrokeshire in Wales, and this island has actually been inhabited for thousands of years. There's even bronze hut circle remains on the island. However, today no one lives here apart from a few wildlife conservationists, because the island is home to tens of thousands of seabirds. In fact, this island, along with two others in the area, is home to half of the Manx Shearwater population in the world. It's also home to 35,000 puffins, so I'm sure we'll be able to see some today. The way you visit the island is by boat trip. There's no other way to get here. So you'll have to take a boat from the south coast of Wales, and the trip is only around 15 minutes, and the captain is very entertaining. As well as the safety demonstration, he'll give you lots of facts about the birds on the island. The best time to visit is in the late spring and early summer, as this is when most of the seabirds can be found on the island, including the puffins. The rest of the year, most of the birds go off the island and into the Atlantic, where they make their way to South America, and then they'll come back again for next spring. Little puffins are the most popular thing to see here, and they're known as pufflings. Each day during the summer, up to 250 people come from the mainland. However, there's not a great deal of infrastructure here apart from one set of compost toilets, and so you'll have to bring everything you need with you for the day. That includes sturdy walking shoes, a raincoat, because even if it's not raining, it's likely to be quite windy and there's no shelter on the island. You also want a pair of binoculars and your camera. I would also bring a packed lunch like a sandwich and a bottle of water. As soon as you get off the boat, you're given a safety demonstration. Now, there are only a few golden rules that you have to follow when you're on the island. The number one thing is that you can't stray from the footpath, even when you're passing other people. And that's because a lot of the birds here, even though they're seabirds, they nest in burrows on land. And so you might just be a couple of centimeters away from a burrow of a puffin or a Manx shearwater. The other thing to note is that you've only got 5 hours on the island, and so you should plan your time accordingly by following one of the marked routes. Now, the longest one is around 3 hours, so we're going to try and do it today. There was farming on the island until the mid-1900s, but since all of that has now stopped, the whole of the Skomer Island is a nature reserve. Skomer is actually an Old Norse word meaning little dagger or small sword. They're so far away right now. When you're picking up your boat tickets, because tickets do have to be booked up in advance, then you can buy one of these informational guides on the mainland. It only costs £3, but it's got a great circuit which you can follow around the island to learn more about the history. For example, right now we're at Bull's Head, which sometimes has a view of puffins, but I think that they've all left for the year from this point. This is Pigstone Bay, and it's the most westerly tip of the island. On a clear and sunny day, you can find seals here bathing in the water, although as you can see, weather is not on our side today. Luckily, however, that does mean that we'll probably see some puffins because they like to come inland when it's raining. This is Skomer Head, and it's where the majority of the rabbits on the island live. It's also the point from which you can enjoy views of the third largest gannet population in the world. We're surrounded by a sea of pink because this is red fescue grass. Unfortunately, it is a favourite snack of rabbits, but it is somewhat preserved here on the island still. The slugs are so big, look in comparison to my hand. When you're walking around the island, it's easy to stick to the path because it's very well defined. However, the one thing you might see is dead birds, because unfortunately a lot of the birds here don't make it to adulthood. We've particularly seen a lot of Manx Shearwaters because they are specifically targeted by the peregrines and by the seagulls. They're not the strongest bird, and so they're attacked while they're flying, which is why they're often only seen here on the island at night. And so when you come, the only ones you'll see will probably no longer be alive. So when it rains, all the puffins come inland, and we're going to go and see more of them now. It's really raining right now though. It may be really rainy, but I think that was one of the top 5 travel experiences I've ever had. Just sitting down on the path and the puffins come within a few centimeters of you. It's truly just a magical experience I can't even convey right now. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more UK travel content. See you next time.